One bad decision can derail your day. Conversely, one good decision can put your day right back on track. Being stuck sucks. Let's get you unstuck. I call this the decision collision. Welcome back to the Story Lesson Advice Podcast. I am Justin. This podcast is all about raw advice and real perspective. Think about how many times you're just moving along with your day or your week, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're just under the spell of a bad decision. Picture this story. You had a long day or week at work, and you get home and you just want to blow off some steam. So you sit on the couch, you crack open a beer. One beer leads to three or four lead to 5 or 6 or maybe more. And before you know it, you've blown off all the responsibility and things that you wanted to do and were supposed to do to kickstart your weekend. Then you wake up hungover, you skip your workout, you eat a shitty breakfast, your wife ends up taking the kids to the park instead of you, the grass still needs to get cut, you forgot to deposit that check that you were going to do this morning, that's right, checks are still a thing, and by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're in a full-blown argument with your wife about how the weekend has unfolded thus far. Then, out of defiance or spite or frustration or whatever, you decide to say F it. And you eat like shit, maybe you have some more drinks, maybe you go do something, tinkering in the garage or whatever. Once again, putting more distance between what you're supposed to do, what you wanted to do this weekend, and what you're actually choosing to do. And just like that, boom, your weekend is shot, huge argument with the wife, fitness routine out the window, healthy eating out the window, family time, poof, gone. And that's it. That's all it took was one bad decision on a Friday afternoon. The bad decision to say, I'm going to blow off what I need to do, and instead I'm going to plop on the couch, watch some college football, and drink one beer. And then that decision led into the second, and the third, and the fifth, and the sixth. And then all of a sudden you wake up Monday morning wondering what the shit happened to my weekend. Now, adjust that story to whatever that is for you. Maybe it's not beer, but adjust that story to whatever it is for you. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one who's experienced a weekend derailment or a week-long derailment because of one bad decision that I chose to make. Now, because some version of this, usually not with alcohol, but some version of this has happened with me over the last several years, I've tried to dive into understanding what is the root cause of this. And one of the things I've come to discover as a leading factor is procrastination. Now, I'm not here to give you any tips and hacks and tricks on how to overcome procrastination because I'm obviously not an expert with that. But I can tell you that oftentimes the reason I and you procrastinate is because of the specific feelings that we associate with whatever it is we're supposed to do. And right there is where we can go off the rails. And the reason we can go off the rails right there is because instead of making decisions based on our commitment to what we need to do, we make decisions based on the way things make us feel. We don't feel like working out on Friday afternoon. We feel like sitting on the couch and having a beer. So that's what we do. And that feeling of feeling good in the moment snowballs from 1 beer to 8 beers. And the next thing you know, your whole weekend is shot and all those commitments are out the window. And right there, we can see how the feeling of it, feeling good in the moment, is what allows us to drive that decision instead of our commitments. And when that happens right there, that's how quickly we can get off the rails. So how can we take steps to fix this or at least minimize it to some degree? Well, I have 4 steps that will be helpful in overcoming this and breaking through to the other side. Thank you so much for watching this far. If you're finding this information valuable, consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Every week I have 1 to 2 videos focusing on life advice, cooking videos, product reviews, book reviews, anything and everything I can think of to help myself and you get unstuck and live a better version of our lives. Step 1, it's time to bust out the old pen and paper. Now you can do this on your phone, but as everybody says, studies have shown that when you write with pen and paper, there's a little bit more of a connection, you have a little bit more creativity. I don't know if any of that's true or not, but try using a pen and paper. Studies have shown that if you use a pen and paper, it means you're using a pen and paper. It's going to get a little crowded on this page, so don't write too big. On the left side, I want you to list out what a good day for you would look like. So, wake up at 6 a.m. And then after that, workout. And then after that, healthy breakfast. And then after that, family time, for example. And so on, all the way down, all the different line items that you have throughout the day. And the next thing I want you to do is right next to that line item is I want you to write a couple of words of why that activity or that thing is part of what you would think of as a, quote, good day for you. So for example, when you write get up at 6 a.m., the reason that you might consider if I do that, that's me having a good day is because maybe that gives you some quiet time in the morning just to sort of be alone with whatever it is you want to do. Maybe you read the news, maybe you meditate, maybe you journal, maybe you just sit outside with a cup of coffee. For your workout in the morning, maybe the reason it's important to you is you're working out to lose weight or to build muscle, or maybe you want to just be able to have mobility as you age. So using those examples, work your way all the way down the list, describing in a few words why those line items are important to your, quote, good day. Now for step 2. On the right side of the paper, make a note of anything that might potentially derail that activity that you consider to be part of a good day. For example, if you're getting up at 6 a.m. is part of a, quote, good day for you, then something that could derail that would be if you were up late the night before, maybe drinking or working, or maybe you just had a bad night's sleep. Maybe for your workout, you're tired and you don't feel like it, or maybe you banged up your knee and you don't want to risk hurting anything else or hurting it worse. For having a healthy breakfast in the morning, maybe something that derails it is you're running late for work and you don't have time to make a smoothie or cook yourself eggs. So again, work your way all the way down the list and list out anything that would possibly derail you from having a good day with each of those different line items. Now for step 3, I told you it was going to get a little crowded on this paper. In the middle of the page, in between your 2 columns, I want you to identify what causes you to pause in that moment and then make the bad decision. Think about it. When it's happened in the past, what do you feel in those moments? What's causing that habit or reaction? I'll go first. So for me, whenever I've had a tough day or an argument with my wife or I'm stressed out about something, I reach for food. That's my comfort. And it's because in the moment, it makes me feel good to sit on the couch and have a snack or to have something like pizza for lunch or dinner. And there's nothing wrong with those things by themselves. It's the relationship that I have to it. But what I realized is how I feel after I experience that is not good at all. So in the moment, I'm letting my feeling of wanting to feel good temporarily dictate my decisions instead of my commitment to wanting to be healthy and live for a long time and be around for my grandchildren. Again, work your way down the page for each of those line items. Now, step 4 is actually using this chicken scratch and putting it into practice. It might be embarrassing or a pain in the ass to lug a piece of paper around with you, so maybe just snap a photo of it on your phone. What I would encourage you to do is to reference this list throughout the day, even if you're having a good day. At each of these intersection points, each of these decision points that you have a chance to make, pause, reflect on your list, and take a look at what's driving whatever decision that you're making. I think you'll find, as I've started to, that if you can pause in the moment and think about why you're making this decision, a lot of times that bad decision is fleeting and it'll pass in just a minute. When you can stop yourself in the moment from letting your feelings drive your decisions and allow yourself to revert back to the commitments that you've made, you'll find that you'll be able to overcome bad decisions more frequently. Of course, this is going to take practice, but it's a starting point. And one final note, all of this, and I repeat, all of this needs to fall under the umbrella of grace. You need to give grace to yourself, to your friends, to your family, to the situation. And if you fall down, that's okay. We can get back up and we can try again. All right, to pull this jalopy into the garage, thinking about what we talked about at the beginning, one bad decision can ruin the day and derail the day. And conversely, one good decision can get your day right back on track. And I can't tell you how many times I've let one decision snowball and torpedo my entire day. But I do remember a few specific times when I stopped in the moment recently and said no to whatever bad decision I was going to make. And that small victory veered my day right back on track. And it was effortless almost to have a great day after that. So taking the time to go through these steps and allow yourself the opportunity to stop in the moment and think about and revisit why you're going to make the decision will give you the opportunity to make the better of the two choices. And that is a great first step in getting unstuck. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode of the Story Lesson Advice Podcast, part of Saturday is Datterday Media. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up. Consider sharing it. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, where, as I said, every week I have 1 to 2 new videos on a wide variety of topics, from life advice, cooking videos, product reviews, book reviews, anything and everything to help you and me get unstuck and live a better version of our lives. Have a great day.